Hi everybody, I'm Zach Malloy, and today I'm going to be bringing you a seasonal, healthy, and quick recipe to get you into the kitchen and out of the kitchen and onto time with family and your friends as quick as we can. We're going to do a poached chicken breast that we're going to serve with a warm sweet potato vinaigrette and some charred broccoli with lemon. So let's get started. So what we're going to start out with is a pot of water that is boiling here. We're going to take 2 medium fingerling sweet potatoes. These are a little on the sweeter side. We're just going to cook these until they are incredibly soft and almost falling apart. This ought to take about 6 to 8 minutes. It's been about 6 or 8 minutes, so I would grab a slotted spoon, make sure that you can kind of, lift these up with a little clearance, and either take a spoon or some tongs, and you just want to kind of pinch these. What you're looking for is you want these to be just incredibly soft. When we get there, we're going to take these sweet potatoes up and out of the hot water, and we're going to set them aside in the bowl. Now, normally, you would take this and do it over the sink, and you'd have a strainer or a colander, and you would just dump them in, and all the water would be gone. In this case, we actually are building a stock to poach our chicken in, so we're going to keep this water hot and almost at a boil right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of scoop these out. This is going to be kind of like a rustic sweet potato vinaigrette. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these hot sweet potatoes and we're just going to mash them up to make almost like a sweet potato puree. So we're going to reduce the heat on this just a little bit here. We're going to keep these warm, and we're going to kind of add a couple extra aromatic elements to this liquid to turn it into a stock. First thing, a couple of sprigs of fresh thyme. We have a little lemon peel. I like to use the peel as opposed to the zest because you can it's a little easier to move around. So just a couple pieces like that, and we're going to do a little white wine. Okay? We're going to bring that back up to a boil really quickly. It should take just a second. And while that's coming back up, we'll talk about chicken. The chicken breast is going to be the best place to start when we're talking about eating healthier. It's got less fat. And the biggest way to reduce the fat even more is we're just going to take that top layer of skin off, which is really easy to do. You just come in and it just peels right off, just like that. So very carefully, we're going to take these chicken breasts, and you're just going to slowly lower them down into your broth. Our stock with our chicken is now up to a full boil. My grandmother used to always joke that the only thing that you should ever have at full boil is your laundry, and then everything else should be gently simmering. So we're going to reduce the temperature just a little bit, and what you want to have is just kind of like a really nice kind of gentle bubble. So now while we're waiting for the chicken to cook, we are going to take our sweet potatoes while they're still warm and mash them up. So I found this perfect kind of round slotted spoon. You could do this with a heavy-duty whisk. You could do this with a wooden spoon. But what we're just kind of doing is using the side of the bowl and mashing. This is going to be the base of our sauce, and then we'll just add on after that. We're going to hit this with a little bit of salt first, some cracked black pepper. I have some rice wine vinegar. This is kind of the case that you could use any vinegar that you've got around the house. Just make sure it's a good quality vinegar. You don't want to use distilled vinegar. This is about 2 teaspoons. And I have a little local wildflower honey. I'm just going to get back in there and give it a good stir. That's going to do 2 things. The liquid is going to, well, obviously, that's going to make it taste really good with the wildflower honey and that vinegar. But it's also going to kind of loosen this puree. We're going to heat up this cast iron skillet over here. We're going to char off our broccoli. And you want to get this hot to the point of smoking. Like and when I say smoking, we're not talking about volcano smoking. We're talking about just a little twinge of smoke. You can probably see it coming off right now. So we're going to add just a tiny bit of neutral oil. This is canola oil. Canola oil has a really high smoke point, which works really well in this case. Some broccoli florets. These have been really quickly blanched in some salt water, but it works really well if you've got maybe some frozen broccoli or some leftover broccoli from the night before, because all we're going to do is throw this into a really hot pan and sear it off to get this good kind of caramelized dark color on one side, and then it comes out of the pan, and that's it. I like to go kind of the florets down and stems up. Now we want to season it. Don't be scared about adding a little bit of extra salt and a little bit of black pepper as well. While this is getting all charred up and nice and delicious, we are going to take our chicken out of the broth and set it on our board to rest. So while that's going on, we're going to take a quick peek at our broccoli. See, we're starting to get a little bit of char on there. What happens with this broccoli is those florets act a little like a sponge, and so they've kind of soaked up a lot of the oil. What we're going to do is add just a tiny bit more oil around the outside to make sure that it has enough heat to kind of conduct. Now remember that this has already been blanched, so we're not trying to cook this all the way through. What we're really trying to do is just add that extra layer of flavor. So we're going to take that lemon that we had used the peel from earlier, and I'm just going to trim off a corner of this. Hold it upside down like this, and all of your juice comes up and over the top and down into the pan. Okay, so we're ready to go ahead and plate this up. I'm going to get my broccoli out of this pan. We're just going to do a couple quick slices on our chicken. Okay, while it's still hot, I add just a tiny bit of salt here on the board. Put down just a little smear of our sweet potato. Move our chicken from the board. Then we'll just kind of tuck some of this broccoli in around the outside here. And last but not least, we've got some fresh thyme that we've picked. So just as quickly as we got started, it's all finished up. It's ready to eat. This is our poached chicken breast that we're serving with sweet potato vinaigrette, some charred broccoli, lemon, and a little fresh thyme. If you'd like to get this recipe or any others, please feel free to visit us at springermtn.com. Thank you very much for watching.